Usually you go with the Senna Prio and then trade the Callista on the other side. But will BLG throw something differently?
Taking the Nautilus away.
The Nidalee Prio is there! They steal away the Nautilus to break it up for the Senna, and then they slam the Nidalee again. Shun, deathless in the last one. They have faith.
We are trending towards the darkest timeline, which is B1 Nidalee. I'm just warning everyone. Coming into the tournament, I would not have believed you. I'm still in disbelief, but given the performance that Shun had on that Nidalee last game, plus the performances that Kane himself has had, it does feel like it makes sense. And let me tell you, if this is a jungle Maokai, can obviously also go with the Senna, but if it is, that is going to be a really, really tough early game matchup to navigate.
Does offer a bit of utility, certainly the CC, the disengage, the Saprolings, and the brushes, but definitely not a champion who can go toe-to-toe with the Nidalee, really at many stages, and if they lock that in, then it's a support Maokai. Yep. Here we go.
Maokai into the Nautilus. Nice stuff here from Lehens, and they're gonna double down. Worked last game. They like the poke. The AD plus AP poke. Choose your poison here. I thought Knight had a really good game on the last one, but the Tristana unbanned, so they go this one instead. It does have a really good pushing power as well. I've got my eyes on the Twisted Fate again. When you have Twisted Fate and Tristana, you have so much power to quickly push waves and then play the map in a really wide area. Plus, your Twisted Fate with Gold Card comes in and sets up Nidalee really, really well too.
Canyon in that last game, not the lead performance we're used to see from him. Really wasn't able to deliver the performance that I think the team needed. He's back on it now until we're going to see, unless we're going to see Lehens leave. I know Carrier would, I don't think Lehens would. The Hui ban is huge though, because that was last time what Gen G played. This trend of just keep throwing bans at Chovy, I think, is going to continue.
And Chovy's a monster in the lane. I think getting small leads, keeping that pushing advantage up on this way, and then still able to rain down the long-range skills in the fights. But the downside of leaving your bottom lane so late is the Callista can now get taken off the board. Of course, Elk and On play every single viable, aggressive champion in this meta. There's still a Varus. There's still a Draven if they want to dig deep and pull it out.
Still a Samira too.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Once this tournament.
It blocks Maokai. No, that feels pretty good. Doesn't block Senna autos though. That's sad.
Imagine it's got to be an AD pick up here. Can save the counter pick for Bin. I know a lot of the game was about Shun and Knight, but to me, Bin with that final pick onto Chovy felt like he was a pivotal factor in them denying the fight. We are going hyper carry.
I mean, when in doubt, bet on the late game. BLG think they can weather the storm of whatever Gen G have put together, trusting in Shun and his early game power to take them to 3 items.
Those are 2 mega AD carries for later on in the game too. Both the Trist and the Zeri here. Gen G, they're gonna double down, grab the Rumble for themselves. They've got plenty of magic damage. What is it going to be the final piece here for Chovy?
Taking his time, a lot of options left available. Only the Corki, the Asol, the Hui taken off.
Could see the Yone. Even though in Tristana he will struggle early, Yone Rumble is a really strong combination. Instead, it's going to be the Azir. Haven't seen it really prioritized thus far. Not necessarily what you want to play into the Tristana. Tristana can obviously buffer the ultimate and has a lot of early game pushing power that Azir doesn't deal with as well anymore. As Keen last game, not the best performance on the Rumble has been. He's going to go for comfort again.
When in doubt, locking the Camille. Been so confident yesterday. Scaling for BLG, looking powerful. Chovy doing his best to match with the Azir, but very magic damage heavy composition. Easy itemization choices for Ben. For On the bottom side of the map, this is going to be a tough one to navigate.
And this time around, I actually feel like Shun has better options to go to. You know, going to a Camille who can always set you up, going to a Nautilus lane that can always set you up as well. I think the Nidalee angle even better this time around. Let's see if BLG can rally here and push us all the way to another Game 5.
Last year, when they met in quarters, the same thing happened, but on the reverse, right? BLG went up 2-0. Gen G fought back and then still got slammed down. Most people coming into the day were expecting a 3-0 or 3-2 rather, one way or another. Chovy does have his Azir, one of the champions he has been excellent on, but I do agree, particularly with how the early game in that last game played out, Gen G are going to have to play a lot cleaner. We've seen BLG, even from deficits, can find amazing team fights. This time around, Gen G, I think Canyon in particular, has got to get them to that mid game.
Canyon leads in some highlight moments, but not able to bring home the win. We talked about last game, either side really having fantastic engage tools. It's a bit of a different story here. Bin on the Camille, much more reliable on the Nautilus, the point and click. Gen G's still gonna have to get creative. They have Lehens. They've got Canyon with a bit of CC as well, but they also have all of Chengdu cheering against them. 2-1 now. Can BLG bring it to a game 5?
I'm just saying, I've been having a lot of game 5s, guys. I was there yesterday. I was there for G2 T1 as crowd going insane here. Understandably, BLG extending their life in this series, and it's Shun on Italy again.
Trying to poke. Any damage that they can get to stick would be nice to have. It is the Halo Blades for Chovy versus a bit of extra healing on the side of Knight, Fleet Footwork. Both sides relatively reserved level 1s.
Lane swap in action here. Zeri up to the top side for BLG, and no deep wards have been had, so they should be able to pull that off without the answer.
Are going to see Pays and Lehens. Let's go for standard path and Keen. This time going for the Ghost. Exposed to the flash he went for last time around. Imagine he's going to go for the same build that he did last game. His equalizer in particular really needed to be more on the mark, and that's something that Gen G is going to rely on in this game as well.
Definitely are. Knight stepping up. Satchel Charge expected to win the early trades, but respecting the potential of the Halo Blades to turn it back, so gets the cooldown, backs off has been. The bottom lane, tough to survive, dives against the Maokai, who can so easily reset tower aggro.
Going for experience!
But he wants that XP. Walks up and gets a creep? 2 creeps?
It's not bad, right? With the shield plus the healing, actually takes not that much damage. Maokai level 1, not offering too much.
Good bit of poke.
Second trade though.
This is tough. Bin trading almost his entire health bar just for an extra creep of XP as Knight really trying to capitalize on the level 2 for the Tristana. Big chunk.
Turret!
Knight though has the reset, of course, because he does fully proc the Satchel Charge, so Keen's gank just really not effective.
Meanwhile, Bin goes for the reset after trading most of his health bar for a couple of melee creeps worth of experience. See if he can get back out to the other side now.
Whoa, the invade.
Walking back.
You have a ward.
Trying to get spotted, but on is here. Flash out, Canyon still rooted by the auto. Now might try to follow, but the Wolves will reset on using the priority they have topside to secure extra camps for Shun. Now it's Chovy who has to be careful as Gen G have 3 members on the bottom side.
It's pretty big for Nidalee there. Able to go blue quadrant to blue quadrant, chasing Canyon out. Now Canyon has nothing to feed on. No more camps on their lane swap side of the map. And if Nidalee gets accelerated in this farming game, then we have seen what Shun can do.
There was also already a ward towards the one play that Canyon could make, which is that gank towards mid. So ward spots him, no real play available as Chovy, no flash.
Go in, the hook, the flash back. It connected on the wall, Chovy couldn't take the risk. And the struggle here is that for that camp for Shun, for the extra camps for Shun, it's excellent to have, but in the meantime, Gen G have been taking so many plates in the bottom lane.
Yeah, got thrown up by Canyon having no flash, but now Chovy also has no flash, so ends up working out the same way as Lehens. Might be a dive target here.
Spotted. Can twisted advance to dodge the initial CC, but he doesn't dodge the hook, and that's crucial. He does, however, get the spear. Aftershock is there, and the dive fumble.
No.
The first blood, Lehens! Gift wrap for him.
Lehens does it again! His twisted advance, the W, he dodged the spear. Nautilus was trying to set up Shun for the guaranteed spear, but Lehens got his twisted advance off. He dodged it, and he got the counter kill.
Absolutely massive moment for Gen G, their front line. Going to feel way better about that. It was a heavy investment from BLG, and meanwhile on the bottom half of the map, Hayes just pushing to his heart's content.
They're doing it correctly, like they're trying to get the combo onto him, but he twisted advance, the spear goes right through in his aftershock, and tower shot is enough.
I mean, a millisecond late on the spear. the hitbox almost gets him right. It becomes untargetable. Shun, that has to hurt, of course, he still has the lead, but unfortunate, they lost so much pressure on the top side. In the meantime, Pays was still pressuring on bot.
Lens just got a full Bomby Cinder there on the Maokai. Let's see how Giga he can get this game. Meanwhile, Shun, though, the Nidalee, the farm lead.
Well, this is a very dangerous moment for Keen. He just TP'd back, but Bin isn't here just yet. We'll see if Shun is willing to cancel. Doesn't look like it's the case. So Keen should get this crash in here. It's going to be fine.
Now we resume normal lanes as Keen forces out the top. Knight jumping in. Wants to practice satchel charge for the reset. Quick control ward dropped. Knight keeping the pressure up mid lane, obviously favored in these early trades.
One of the big things with the Zeri in particular, which is why we saw Vi come back into the meta in the first place, is you need guaranteed point and click CCs. Knight.
Turbo shock rockets.
The Turbo Shock Rocket will not connect, no matter how loud it is.
Yep, good movement there from Knight, just moves down to his jungler. Shun obviously on the bottom half of the map and should be able to control the dragon, no problem.
Shun starting the objective, BLG with a push out bottom lane, slowly building pretty meaningful advantages. Yes, the Maokai is 1,000 gold ahead, but not too big of a problem at this stage of the game. The Drake, however, we've seen Drake stacking in every single game in the finals thus far. BLG gonna look to get an edge there, is on, Hex flashes into mid, and Keen tries to overheat at the right time to punish Bin.
We'll be able to, we now have the rotation, so already the Drake, taken by BLG, and they're now looking to solidify their lead even more. And a lot of this comes from the fact that Knight in that mid lane is doing a great job. We already knew that the Azir is definitely going to struggle in the 1v1. As a result, BLG gets everything they want.
Yep, the recipe for neutral objectives is mid-prio and jungle advantage, and that experience advantage still true. Meanwhile, Elk here trying to fend them off on the bottom side tower, but Pays and Lehens have their eyes on these turret plates and continue to mine gold out of them.
Pays walking away, 20 souls already. Shun taking every objective he possibly can. Gen.G have a bit of a gold lead, but BLG just continuing to rack up these objectives.
Last game, Canyon wasn't able to have the early game impact. In the mid to late game, some of his decision making around the skirmish didn't end up working out. It's another play on Chovy, but Spear won't hit. That should be the end of that. And this time around, I think particularly either to one of his side lanes or towards the ball, he's got to get some lane ahead. They need something to play through. And even though Gen.G is doing fine in terms of gold thanks to all the plates they got, I do think that they want to try and push the advantage even more.
And it's really hard to do specifically against Nidalee because they're able to rush their Sork shoes. So you have all this mobility with your Cougar form, with your Sork shoes rushed here so early on for Shun because of the lane swapping and getting the extra jungle quadrant there. Now it's very easy for them to move in, continue to control the Scuttle Crabs and the vision to allow them to roam between bot and mid.
Elk and On, Shun and On just moving around the map as a duo. Elk comfortable on the bottom side. He has the cleanse. He's Zeri. He's tough to lock down. The only point and click, relatively low range on Lehens, freeing up this duo to just terrorize Canyon's jungle.
One of the big differences in the last game, though, is that this time Keen hasn't been put meaningfully behind, which does mean we do see him being able to generate a meaningful lead as possible collapse, but Gen.G, they do suspect this and have a couple of members ready.
Gen.G. Lehens just ults to clear the wave. Elk. Lehens is forced to back away. Now Gen.G cancel the back of Bin. He's seeing if he can bait the all in there, but Pace is already here, gonna try to pick up some souls and pick up some plates.
Another cancel there. Bin does FTP. You see immediately On making a beeline towards the top half of the map. Same for Shun. In case of a dive, not gonna be the case.
Yeah, it's really dangerous to dive the Camille because even though the ultimate is often used as this trap tool, being able to dodge a key ability with your Hextech ultimatum, you know that you have to have the respect that Bin will be able to pull it off. He is safe up there, and he cleans up that cannon wave.
Now cresting the 9-minute mark. Not too long until the next set of grubs, a minute 50. 2 minutes on the Drake as well. See where Gen.G want to put their priority. Thus far, BLG building a pretty big lead. 300 gold for the Nidalee, Hextech Alternator, Knight and On moving together. BLG really feel much more in control in this game than they did in the first two in our series.
When it comes to gold, though, Gen.G is still doing fight again, courtesy of all the plates that they were able to pick up, both in the top side as well as in the bottom half of the map. The main thing, though, is going to be the fights that are going to come up for the next two objectives, the Ocean Drake and the free grubs. We'll see where Gen.G is going to put their main priority. I think denying 6 grubs against particularly Camille and Tristana is definitely a worthwhile endeavor, but because BLG also has an early Drake, might want to go for that as well.
And specifically, Gen.G could make a play onto the Nautilus here.
Keen caught out, hookshot, the wall dive connecting, running for his life now. Just gets deleted in an instant. Excellent movement from the side of BLG.
Meanwhile, the cross map here, trying to play off Lehen's ultimate on still level 4 on the Nautilus, but very close to 5.
Power low, not gonna get on that close enough to proc to demolish. The counterplay denied. Elk just stepping up, level 8 on the Zeri.
Really big there from Elk because he clears the wave. They can't get a demolish proc off, and the counter, the cross map, not gonna come through.
And then the safe play. After defending that tower, keeping it upright, they back off, make sure there's not gonna be a repeat dive, slip right back in.
Good denial. Tower is slowly taking a little bit of damage with the Ultra Shock laser from Elk clearing out the wave beautifully. Control ward in the brush means that BLG can't step into the river whatsoever, but Gen.G are gonna walk away without a tower.
BLG getting a huge boost in momentum in the last game. Bringing it together, clutching an elimination game, and building on a very stable base here in this one. Those Void Grubs that you mentioned, already up and started here by Canyon. Now BLG, Shun just needs to yoink one, and Nidalee is one of the champions to do it. You can go from over the wall, he's got flash, but everybody from Gen.G is here to make sure that he doesn't.
Absolute certainty is what Gen.G would like to have around these grubs. No angle into the pit, a TP burned. Of course, not too far from mid lane, but willing to give up a couple of CS just to ensure that the 4 grub buff does not go to the side of BLG. It costs him a single plate to do so, but not a whole lot else.
That said, plate in mid is going to fall and the bot wave is going to crash as well. Keen and has to go back, but instead of sticking around here, so there's going to be a lot of gold lost.
Equalizer dash. A little bit extra poke. Cleanse still there. Out cleansing a little bit late. He's still going to get hit. Lightning Crash coming in, flashing out. But there is Lehen's 2.3k gold lead. A double kill for the Maokai.
TP.
Coming in. Knight covering the dive. Bin is there. And what did Lehen's eat this morning?
Yeah, I've heard of the Church of Chovy, but what about the Church for Lehen's? This guy is absolutely popping off. 3-0 on the Maokai.
Is it time, Chronicler, for the League of Lehen's? Is it time? Do we have to bring it back?
I think we're watching it right now.
He's
in front of our very eyes, Dracos.
How could he not be the people's champion? He's a support. He's not supposed to have money. He goes in, he plays exclusively cat skins, Blitzcrank and Maokai, and he gets a double and the cleanse. It's just, oh.
Yeah, On wanted to block the Maokai ultimate, so he walked onto the Rumble ultimate and burned down and tried to block it there, but they take so much damage in the layer of ultimates, and then Lehen's chases them both down on the Maokai. He was the hero of the story in the Blitzcrank game, and once again here is going to be a massive frontliner for this team. The Maokai ultimate is a critical part of them winning their team fights. This tower though, local golds, can they? It's kind of nice sometimes to actually let it drop and let no local gold go over. But this one will barely remain standing, so Gen.G members definitely have their eyes on that cash in.
Won't be able to. Shun.
Gonna get slowed, ghosted after. Keen just wants to run the Nidalee down. Burning, ticking Canyon wants to find the angle on the kick. He doesn't even need it. Dash forward. Gets a little bit extra damage, finishes him off. But Bin, now it's the 1v1. Well played to turn it back onto Keen. Canyon versus Bin, but Bin is going to be a little bit stronger.
Should be able to get the turret though, so I don't think they're going to be feeling too bad about that one. Bin still waiting around, maybe looking for a snipe of some sort.
Oh, Pays.
Pays very squishy.
Oh, are they going to look for
Taking
a flank?
their time. TP won't work. They want to stick around. On is here. Hook shot. Pays flashes out, but now it's Canyon who's going to be sacrificed. He gets him back into the center. So much damage coming in from Bin, but now Lehen's is ready to follow up. Shield back. Flash back from Canyon. It's too damn clean, but now it's Pays who's in trouble. Pays who's running for his life. The root comes in, but it's a little bit too late. The hook shot, the wall dive. Bin wants to follow. Holding on.
He's going to get out as well.
Back sweep. My God, what a play.
Oh, and Bin, because he's drawing so much attention, Elk just gets his way with the mid lane turret. Zeri skating out. And
Camille with the Trinity Force completed. Oh my goodness, Bin just chopping them down in the 2v1 there.
And what is it for BLG? They're just unfazed by going down 2-0. Pays with an absolute montage game, but the mental stays strong. A tense game 3, and now full confidence here in game 4. Lightning crash. Elk deletes the wave. Keeps stepping up. Again, Lehen's the only reliable way to lock this Seri down. Wants to keep stacking, wants to keep the alt buff active, but we'll just have to let it fade. Gen G backing off.
With that, flash invested by Canyon. Shunt, not able to pick it. Oh, no, did get it actually. Nicely done there with the Nidalee. Gonna start at the Herald immediately, and this is what we're talking about. This is why Nidalee has been so high prio. The amount of speed and tempo you get from just power clearing for your camps, always being out of the map. Gen G, they're gonna have to give it the Herald.
And the side lanes are so difficult too for Gen G to regain control of, because you've got Bin's Camille running rampant over there. Let's take another look at this attempt. They try to time it there with On coming down, and there was a good flash from Pays, but they go right into melee range of Bin, thinking that they've got the full advantage with Lehen's here, but then Bin just 2v1s them while Lehen's was going for the chase.
And really an underestimation of the damage from Bin there, because if Lehens just uses his ultimate and then joins the rest of his team and peels, I think they would have been able to take him down.
And you got to check the inventories. Like, that was on completion for Trinity Force.
Yeah.
Trinity Force for Camille is insane because it can convert on your Q2 damage there. Huge, huge procs.
Incredible synergy. Checking in on the lane economy snapshot. Well, it is Lehen's. And no one else has got a lead. Again, the Maokai is farming. He did get a double kill earlier, but that's not what you want to see.
Even if you subtract that Elk bar, he's still got 1,000 gold extra lead there for Giga Lehen's.
Got to see this fight, I think, is going to be pivotal for the fate of this series. If Gen G starts stacking Infernal Drakes, if they actually get the 5v5 again, the combo, Equalizer, Maokai ult, and Senna ult, that's something they got to rely on. Also Chovy, we haven't seen him yet this game. He's going to have to come up huge. If BLG will let him, and they might look for a play towards him here.
The burden of execution, though, is so damn high. The Nidalee, the Tristana, the Zeri, the Camille, even the Knot Hook. It's so difficult to lock these targets down. Lehen's walking up. Canyon won't even go for the Sonic Wave. Happy to just play for mid-priority. Sapperling going to give a bit of information here, but it's been off to the side.
The flank.
Hayes vulnerable on his
TP.
lonesome. TP in. They're trying to cover the mid wave. Now they're going to flash in. The disengage coming up for Lehen's. Hextech ultimatum, and it's Knight in the back line. Trying to delete Canyon. Sidestep is good. On. Frontlining by himself, and Keen manages to get one back. It's a shutdown for Knight as Keen takes out On.
Another attempted trap on a tower kill there. BLG this time around, though, they only grabbed the one. They barely took down Lehen's, and it's enough for Gen G to still get the objective.
When it comes to gold, obviously a trade up for BLG. Lehen's way more resources on than Ondu, but it's the stalling of that Maokai that again proves to be pivotal.
Yeah, they got the bounty off his head, but Gen G, pretty critical for Gen G to stop the dragon stacking, and they teleport in to ensure that they can guarantee this mid tower.
It is just Lehen's TP. Happy to have that additional advantage. Breaking open mid lane tower, Gen G wresting control back in this game, denying the soul stacking on the side of BLG.
I think that was critical in their timeline here, but shouldn't right back out to it, as Nidalee will do, trying to make them pay in some way here, counter jungling both on the blue quadrant. And here's another look at the pinch.
Oh, it's that ward that gives them the second of opportunity, so they can very quickly coordinate, and it allows the TP to come through here. That equalizer again keeps away the back line of BLG. They can't walk up, and Gen G get the fight they're looking for.
Yeah, and then this Nautilus, of course, the non-farming support, way easier to burn through,
yeah.
so Keen roasted him up. But Knight was critical in having his little flank positioning there on the Tristana to ensure that they actually killed Lehen's after that flash. If he didn't have that opening on the side, they wouldn't get their extra gold, and right back out to the side lane turret. Demolitionist Tristana does her work.
This is such a nightmare to deal with in the side lane. Really hard to lock Knight down, and again, the amount of reliable cooldowns here to kick things off is tough. Keen hiding in the brush, does get a bit of poke with the Electro Harpoon, and now Canyon forced to stay as the Herald will be used in the bottom lane. But this tower is going to drop quick. Gen G, do they want to try to do anything here other than buy space for Canyon to take the top lane tier 1? Tower will fall. Herald consumed. Tier 1 for tier 2.
For Gen G, they did get the dragon, and they're going to be looking towards that team fighting power. Chovy, again, is building up a bounty here just off the back of his farm. Just now finished his Leandries. We need to start seeing his impact in these fights.
And now we need to see this continuation of gold grab where BLG want to utilize the side lanes to continue to squeeze more and more gold out of their advantage over Gen G. But Chovy's actually done quite a good job in the side lanes, you know, pushing back out response for Gen G, and they really have a good front line with Maokai here. Lehen's leading the way to try and force their plays.
Unlike last game, pace is also a little bit better when it comes to the souls, almost at 70 here. Nothing crazy, but there were a few Senna games where he wasn't able to get going at all.
Other big pickup here for Gen G, like they want to force these team fights. They don't want to get, you know, starved to death by side lane pressure. And so Lehen's rushing into second item Frozen Heart here for the attack speed debuff on not only the Tristana and the Zeri, but also the Camille. He's doing his best to put that extra money to work.
Also, the sustain that you have with this Maokai from his auto passive, as well as Pays, gonna be big. Gen G, though, I don't think they have any meaningful pressure here on the Baron. BLG not gonna fall for that one.
We saw in the previous game, it was in Italy and Jace then, but of course how important it is to be able to block the poke, and finally they have that beefy frontliner who can do so with Lehen's so far ahead of the clock. 2 items now. Lehen's looks like he's found the pick. Nice root on, caught out, and again, he doesn't have any money. He's just a squishy support. Gen G, takedown on.
Might be the start sign here for Gen G. At the very least, you want to try and force a response. They don't have Maokai ult, though. That's a big cooldown gone. And Shun is alive.
Ready to go over the wall. 10K getting lower. Gen G wanting to claw their way back into this game. Keen in the fight. TP coming in from Bin. But is it too late? Forte getting
Shun.
lower. Shun, can he get it? Nice equalizer to dissuade the play. Gen G not certain if they want to burn it down. They don't have the info, and then Italy, the Spear is going to connect. He can try and get into the pit. Chovy still tanking the Baron. Chovy getting lower and lower, but Canyon, the kick back into the wall is clutch. Bin deleted. Knight has to run, but Chovy could be in trouble. Shun hunting off to the side, on the way back in. Knight still living for far too long, but finally Gen G will find the kill they're looking for. Shut down for Canyon, and now On has been caught out. A beautiful turn back from Gen G. The Spear will not connect, and the Nautilus is burning once again. Shun, dash back.
It's the flash!
Flame Spitter, Gen G take the fight and turn right back to the Baron.
TP is available. Jovi's gonna look. Gen G want this Baron so badly.
Oh, they can burn it now. Shun has no flash. The Nidalee would have to work up a miracle to save this one.
Gen G, calm, cool, composed, willing to let Chovy drop to such a low health point, taking damage from the Baron to ensure the fight they were looking for.
And it all starts with Lehen's. He walked in, he got the pick that started it all. And take a look at this. Really good call from Gen G turning off of Baron. Even though it was at 3K, 2.5K here, they go straight for the pick. It is the root from Lehen's that sets up Canyon to have the easy kill there onto Bin.
Canyon kicks him into the wall. No ability to outplay for Bin. Dies with his ultimate still up. Ideally, you want to try and use that. And we talked already about the composition of BLG. There is no front line. Elk isn't there. If you're not the one playing on the front foot, you're going to get taken out one by one.
Yeah, Lehen's is uncontested on the front line. He just runs straight at you. Anyone who gets in range immediately picked up.
Look at Keen. The difference between this game and last game.
The power of a Rumble, not falling behind, not forced to build more bruisery options, has the luxury item. Okay, well, we'll see if he goes.
No, we'll Keen. He might.
Fine. Got the Seekers, helped out in the previous fight. Gen G wearing purple, looking confident, gonna get first access to mid, which should start to break down these tier 2s once they group up.
This is where BLG have shown an incredible level of tenacity, and it's got to be that 1-2 combo of Bin and On. I think they need to find a target, but Gen G have just been grouping up continuously, and against Maokai in particular, once you start falling behind, the saplings are so annoying.
And Gen G won't give you time. Look at this reset. They're immediately back out to the map. They shove through the top side, and they're going to pressure you immediately. Lehen's will always force these tower dives. He's in the fog of war now, looking for a Maokai ultimate as everyone passes by.
Knight shows, Lehen's steps up. 4 members here, guiding in, a 5th behind them. Keen, ready to overload. If the LG stick around too long, the Maokai ult use. Excellent use of the equalizer. Lucky multiple members to get the cleanse out. Meanwhile, the W forward denies the Nautilus ultimate. And the siege continues from the side of Gen G.
Bin is split pushing. The Camille is trying to get something back here for BLG.
Recall. Keen's TP is about to come up, so even with him going in, I don't think there's a lot of counterplay. This Inhibit's gonna fall.
Stopwatch completed. Gen G marching into the base of BLG. This could be the last stand.
Teleport, teleport.
Oh, they don't want to risk it, and I don't think they should.
They have it in their control, though. You can tell it's so solid now for Gen G. The massive difference in front line, this Maokai bringing it to them.
And Gen G, the most disciplined team in the world. BLG have made it scrappy in so many moments, have made it close. But Gen G with this kind of lead starts to get very scary.
We talked a lot about Chovy, but this series, it's felt more about Keen and Lahens. To what extent can they perform? These two players suffered historically an unprecedented thing in the LCK, where the fact that even despite finishing first the way that they did, unable to make it to finals, got upset twice, and now them on the Rumble.
Canyon. On goes in, down goes Canyon. Good pick to kick things off. No real objective to play for, but slows the push of Gen G. Lahens has to be careful. Spear doesn't hit on the Chovy.
He's going in?
Lahens stepping up. Elk doesn't have lightning crash.
I mean, Knight is on the way too, and there's a teleport from Bin. They want to close.
Gen G caught, they lost one. BLG now ready to follow up. Pays, edge of Knight. Bin, where does he want to go? Looking for Chovy, hoping for that priority target.
They spotted him already, and I think the Maokai ult huge there. They can't just chase down towards Lance's Keen. He is trying to repeat the play that Bin pulled off against him earlier. Chovy has TP.
Patience.
Keeping the heat
Lahens
perfect.
has teleport, they could double teleport. But Lahens is gonna walk here.
Collapsing, equalizer across the entire way. Bin trying to get out, but Lahens already on the way in. Bin now knows that he has to turn. There's no way he can survive, but maybe he can take one with him. The answer is hell no. Chovy grabbing the kill.
They're gonna go straight for the tower now. They've got a cannon minion with them. That cannon minion right there will turn off the extra defense.
Push forward, on waiting. Elk finally getting a bit of armor penetration again, but Gen G just continue to chip away at BLG.
More gold into the pockets of Gen G. On goes in.
Back on, caught out, Pace coming over the wall. Good damage, lightning crash used by the Zeri, but Elk's got no room to move. He's been hit by the Maokai ultimate Canyon. Body telling him yes, but he won't follow up on Elk. Canyon happy to try and take the tier 2. Shun looking to interrupt, and Gen G just continue marching forward.
Both objectives up in about a minute. Soul point available for Gen G if they pick up this Drake, but Baron spawning at basically the same time. Gen G, they have a little map control, and crucially, that top lane inhib still down for another 2 minutes. And from this point on, the BLG composition, we saw the one way that you can make this work is find one target and blow them up in seconds. I don't think Gen G is gonna try and give them another opportunity like that.
Nope, Gen G, they know. They are right in front of it. They are on the precipice of getting Chovy his first international trophy. Moments away. They're going step by step. They do not want to leave a single opening for BLG. They were just caught by surprise with the brush though. Canyon burst down. Can BLG pull out another miracle here and push us to a game 5?
BLG have to respect the potential.
One
Of
more.
the Baron take here, 20 seconds. The Rumble and the Azir can shred through the objective. Gen G getting mid-prio first. Not going to skip the fundamentals. Not going to forget what they need to do to bring this home. It's been 7 years the LCK have waited for an MSI title. T1, the last to win it. The only LCK team to win it. 7 years for Gen G since they beat T1 in a world final. LCK and Gen G both hungry for a new trophy.
And Chovy, ever since he started winning LCK, he hasn't stopped. But it's the addition of Keen and Canyon that was the thing that was most talked about last game. Neither of them having a great time this time around, even though Chovy has been muted. It's them that are stepping up. Chovy is soloing the Dragon.
Split across the map. BLG
Oh, he doesn't have TP.
over-focused,
It's kind of a bluff.
over-fixated on the Baron. Gen G now backing up. Clean, again, disciplined. They don't
The ward,
overcommit.
They knew. The Scryer.
Two at once here for Gen G because they know BLG are committing to the split push. Bin on the tower gets teleported on.
TP. Shun, spear doesn't quite connect. Edge of Night there. Lahens starts to retreat, has the ulti. Shun just desperate to find the angle, but Pays is not afraid. Takes about half his HP, and Gen G bleeding them out.
Top lane inhib about to respawn, but Gen G, they got the soul point. Trying to set up a trap here, but that ward giving a lot of information.
The sapling's giving more though. Lahens here on this Malka just keeps moving in. The unstoppable front line. A sapling in every brush. slowly pushing BLG out of their own jungle.
Unlike last game, Lehens can just take these spears if he wants to. Hollow Radiant's already done, building towards the Jack shows. When it comes to levels, he's not that high up, but just the items give him so much value. Keen building towards, I assume will be a Crypt Bloom. Chovy, 3 items done already, and he has the stopwatch. A lot of summoners available on BLG's side, but the amount of AoE CC that's available for Gen G, BLG, again, they're gonna have to find and isolate a single target who isn't ready.
And 280 carries both the 3 items. Yes, one of them is Maw for Knight, but surely the tools are there. Bin at 3 items as well to isolate these members, to pick off Gen G, but they've really only been able to find 1 or 2 picks. Knight looking for one now. Pink's coming out.
Bin on 3 items here on this Camille. Constantly split pushing, constantly looking for these side plays, but Gen G not exposing themselves, not letting anyone put themselves in danger. And once again, they all rotate over, they push out the mid wave first, then they go into the river, retake control of the jungle leading up to the Baron. They're the ones with the big Maokai ultimate. They're the ones with all the threat
There you go.
of the turn off this Baron, and they can just 2-person start it up.
Textbook League of Legends. Push out mid, gain vision control, and Shun is gonna have to find the steal of a lifetime here.
Lehens caught out, but not the ideal target whatsoever.
Shun gets it! Kicked out! Slams in the face of Gen G! The pessimism is big! Splitting! He gets the in-hit! BLG make the miracle happen and boosts off!
God damn it.
Trento erupts as Shun keeps the dreams of a Game 5 alive.
In the blink of an eye, on the edge of oblivion, BLG pull it out. They steal the Baron, they take the inhib. The split push is alive.
Hope breathed into BLG.
And no, there's no kick.
No
they see him, but it's
freaking
too
way,
late.
man. As he's getting kicked,
That's the key thing. He literally doesn't even have to do anything to get out of the pit. Canyon says, here you go, take a Baron and a kick to go with it. And now Gen G, the control that they were cultivating,
I mean,
gone.
melted away in a single moment, a single smite from Shun. Gen G doing what they can to hold, to clear these waves, but the 80 carries are strong, and they're here, they're ready to fight, to force Gen G to come meet them in this mid lane.
In games between the best players in the world, all it takes is a split second to change your destiny. Let's see if BLG can make this Baron into a victory.
and still only level 13. They've dropped a lot of waves just to make sure that no one is gonna be caught out. But now BLG, still a minute and a half left, gonna retake the gold lead, especially once this inner is gonna fall. Gen G just have to watch it happen.
Respecting the topside commit, conceding their jungle control, is on, ready to go over the wall. Knight taking a decent chunk of damage, slowing the siege down. Gen G holding onto their tier 2s as long as they can. Bot lane, of course, Super's pushing in, but Keen is there to cover. Spear on to pay is a good start, takes away the edge of Knight.
And we're gonna see if BLG is able to also utilize this. The fact that they got themselves the Baron, about 45 seconds left on it, but they're gonna be able to get this turret, get an empowered recall in, and then set up for this crucial Drake fight. Because Gen G, they thought that that Infernal Drake was on its way to Soul Point, but now they might have to fight a lot harder for it.
This series has been insane. It has delivered on every single level. And now we've got one more, 5 seconds away on that dragon.
Look at that steal.
The potential. Shun took away the Baron from Gen G. Can Canyon take this dragon?
Bin, they spot him, but very hard to lock him down.
Hard to collapse on any of these targets. Again, the mobility.
They've got Knight mid too. The Tristana will just blow up.
Gen G starting.
Mid-wave.
Split call. Canyon backing up. Spear not going to hit.
Are they gonna let it go? They don't want to risk it.
There's too much pressure. Knight push mid lane. The super minions in bottom lane. They give it up. No hope of the soul for Gen G.
Tier 2 dropping as well. So much money now. Soul point on both sides. 3 Drakes to 3. 34 minutes into the game. The gold only 1,000 apart. It is on a knife's edge. BLG, can they bring us to match point?
And what a way it will be Gen G, because it felt like for most of this game, they were the ones in control. They were the ones keeping it together ever since the early game. BLG had a couple of moments, but outside of that, it was all Gen G all the time. And then ever since they got the top side in it, they've been playing it slow. They were like, guys, we don't want to risk this. But you got to push a little bit against a team like BLG. If you give them time, they will find openings.
Might just take one more. 2 minutes to the next Baron, 4 till Soul for either side.
And now they're going to end up with a late game Tristana, a late game Zeri, a late game Camille in the hands of Bin. Absolutely terrifying stuff here. BLG onto the Rift. They've got the vision control. They've got the gold back in their pockets.
And you want to talk about a heavy burden to bear. Canyon against this composition. The reliable point and click knockback from Knight on, who can also lock him up. The angles for Lee Sin almost non-existent. Maybe the miracle kick. How many times have we seen it in Lee Sin games? A champion that scales with player skill. We always talk about it.
And BLG did this before, where they wait for Bin specifically to get his Guardian Angel. I think they might do it again here. Just let Bin have this money, let him complete the GA. That item is one of the most broken single fight items in the whole game. He's gonna get it now,
there you go.
And then they're gonna force on it. When he completes the GA, you have seen it. He goes right into the back line, he deletes them, they take him down, he gets back up.
There it is. Crowd goes crazy. Gonna have to see the team fighting from Gen G. We've talked about it so much, but BLG might have gotten them beat. They don't have a front line though. Let's make it hard for them.
Knight poking.
Oh, Elixir of Iron pulled by Lance.
Spear not gonna hit. Bin ready to go in, a second life acquired, a second chance in the midst of a fight. He can play as aggressive as he wants. Still, Gen G walk forward. Kick connects. Bin off to the side. McKean is gonna spot him. Tower erected. Gen G ready to defend. Lehen's caught up by a brief kick. Bin still not in the fight. Gen G stepping up. Big damage onto On caught up. Rooted. Chovy wants to make the play, but the flashback is everything. Double 80 carries. Ready to go. He goes golden. Pace trying to keep his mid laner alive, but Bin is still up. The GA still there. He's taking his time.
Death ball.
Stalking the prey of Gen G, but BLG are getting lower and lower. The healing of the Senna is going to start to add up, and Gen G have access to the Baron first. Shun has to be careful. The spear not going to hit.
They're going to try to go for it again. Last time, Shun got it. Lance gets TP back in.
BLG gonna try and shove mid as quickly as they can and then rotate over.
Keen waiting, sees them walking into the choke, holding off as long as he can. Massive burst damage, but he's the one who goes golden. Lehen's now following up. Bin the GA, but it does absolutely nothing. Soldiers being sent forward by Chovy. Bin on the run. Shut down coming through from Elk. Finds the angle as Shun is still standing. Canyon trying to make the difference. Chovy in the midst of the fight, but Knight is still alive. Knight and Elk versus Gen G. They come out on top. The GA not enough.
On's on his way.
What?
On chasing.
He's back! He's back! He's gonna find them!
Finds the angle.
He
Finds
gets
the
it!
shutdown. Bing's back home for BLG.
And Knight went mid. Knight went to push the mid lane. Elka's gonna chase them down. Can he fight Canyon?
Elk refuses to lose. He demands a game
Knight is still
five.
mid. Knight is still mid. He's
Nice
taking
looking
another
to
hit.
end.
Another in hit props. No TP. Not in time.
They're going to
25
keep casting
seconds.
back. Pace is going to come back up though, but I don't think he can do anything against Knight. He has to
Tearing
wait.
through the towers. Again, he breathes life into Chengdu. The crowd going wild, but he
Pace?
can't finish the
Pace?
job. And Pays denies him the satisfaction.
Wait, but that might mean
We're not done yet! Gen G defended! Pays gets back up! He saves the Nexus!
there's no Nexus turrets though. Gen G, what are they going to do? Are they going to go for Baron or are they going to go for Soul? And they need to keep it ground. Bin can TP in.
Without the Tristana, Gen G have the advantage. Keen is back up. Keen will have his teleport. They can force on the Baron. BLG, they would have to steal it. They can't fight without their Tristana.
Oh.
Shun, can you make 2 miracles in 1 game?
Bin,
Poke on the
look,
Canyon.
Look at Bin. I think he will get spotted there.
Keen has to cover the base. The ping's back onto the base. BLG
Chovy chunked.
trying to buy time. Again, spear landing. Good poke. Elk
Camille's
off to
going
the
to
side.
base.
Bin just wants to delete at least an inhibitor. Keith
On
can't
Trevor,
overcommit. They get the TP. They get the cancel. Pays now in trouble. On doing everything he can to try and interrupt. Already the inhibitor drops. Bin versus 2. Bin in the clutch in game 4. Goes in for the Nexus. Desperate to try and finish the X. He doesn't get it. Chovy denies him. Pushes him back. And keeps Gen G in this.
Both teams have soul points.
The soul, they're going for the dragon. BLG want to deny the soul.
They're up a member, but is it enough? Shun, he gets spotted.
Chovy sees him. Shun steps up. Chovy says no. Dawning Shadow pays, getting the kill.
Oh, that's every soul for Gen G.
They can soul and then they can Baron afterwards.
There's no wards in the base, only the wave. So as long as Gen G keep track. 2 super waves coming their way, but 45 seconds on Shun, 28 seconds on Bin.
The constant threat of the back door. No TP on Knight, but Bin still has his.
Oh, look.
They're going bottom side. It's just they can't overforce it though, because the Baron empowered recall will get the members of Gen G back in time regardless. All you can do is steal away the red buff. You cannot afford to go down at this moment.
Chovy standing guard, making sure that his Nexus will stand. At game 5, it looked like it was in the cards, but Gen G, just destination. If there was any doubt about whether these are the 2 best teams in the world, my God, this series!
The endurance of these players. Series after series after series up on this stage, and now we go into the late game of this one. 41 minutes into the game. Multiple inhibitors down on the side of Gen G, but they've got the soul and they've got the Baron buff. They just have to be worried about Bin's teleport. He can annihilate structures on this Camille.
There is 1 ward that hasn't been spotted by Gen G. Look towards the bottom half of the map.
On the bottom.
And they can double TP. Once Nidus is available, it makes it so hard for...
Chovy's going up bottom lane right now.
Chovy's splitting, but BLG having to fight for mid-prio.
They're going to hard force and race.
Instant recalls, BLG.
They don't want to risk it, because their highway to the Nexus is open.
So crucial that they could knock down those towers, that they could break open the base, because it stopped the effectiveness of this Baron from the side of Gen G.
just want to fight.
They got to look for wards. You have to find every single one of these wards. That Camille will annihilate your Nexus. They find the deepest one.
There's so many.
The stress, the anxiety that Gen G must be feeling in this moment, knowing that game 5 could come down to a game of hide and seek of who can clear the vision better. For BLG.
It's also, even with the soul, the fight not done. Double GA almost back up for BLG.
The recall, though, is so fast with Baron here for Gen G that they have the confidence to push up with at least 4.
They know about this ward.
Yeah, they have the ping on it.
Hoping to bait the play. Hoping that the desperation on the side of BLG will force them into an error.
Baron expires in 1 minute. If BLG can hold on.
Shown off to the side. Ward gonna get cleared the second they realize they want to push forward into mid lane. Canyon standing tall. GA available if he can make the play, but the same is true for Bin.
Summoners up across the board. Lost fight. It was the AoE damage. Elk in particular doing so much there. And Gen G, you can see they don't want to make a mistake. They don't want this to go game 5. This match point for them means the world.
Marching in, gonna just try and delete the structure. They do so much damage. We're so late in the game. They have the Infernal Soul as well. They'll break open an inhibitor for free. BLG cannot find the angle to punish yet.
Baron recalls.
Double stacked super minions on bottom side. Lehens invest the Maokai ultimate to make sure that they can get their Baron recalls off, and they do.
Again, it's double TP on Tristana and Camille. If they ever get to your objectives, they're going to be gone in seconds. Gen G is going to try and slow this game down. The problem is that it becomes so hard, even with the Inhips respawned, the amount of time it's going to take Knight and Bin to take down your structures is minimal. Mid lane Inhip doesn't mean that much in the grand scheme of things. We might be heading towards a bit of a stalemate here, where if either team messes up, it's going to be game over.
This is a one-fight game. Either side finds the kill, finds the pick, and the objective to follow. It'll end here. For Gen G, it means a trophy. Chovy's first. So many years of disappointment. Erased in an instant. For BLG, it would be Knight 2 times back-to-back. Bin's 3rd final. We know about these players. Legendary, all of them in their own right. But only one of them can win this game. Pays Playing risky.
I think he actually had the sweeper. So almost there, getting the spot. The Senado, 140 souls.
Look at this.
Level 17.
Look at the trailing split push here. They're trying to, I love these plays. They don't catch anyone, but when you have the double teleports ready, dangling someone out there as a bit of a bait and having Knight be the trailing split push there, hoping that they could get somebody and pounce on them. Nobody wants to go across the midfield though. Nobody gonna overextend. There is one little bit, they find it.
And again, the arena is dead, silent.
The
Only the
tension.
sound of the commentators. The stress, the suspense.
This series is grueling. Chovy actually opting into more tank-heavy items here towards the end. Frozen Heart, Abyssal Mask done. And him getting someone. Really, the thing with BLG's comp is that if you get anyone, you can blow them up in seconds. The problem is the damage from the remaining members not still going to be way too much? We are approaching a point where everyone is just sitting at full items, and in about 35 seconds, Elder spawns.
And the difference is, in these team fights a lot of the time, the difference in front lines. And this Nautilus is the squishiest person on the Rift, level 13, trying to get some defenses pulled together. On was the first one to go down in that last mid-fight. Lens trying to bully and walk up.
Oh, the control is there for Gen G. They want to try and start this Elder for Nexus. I've seen that one a bunch of times. I imagine that's what BLG is looking for, but don't forget that team fight still lethal even at this point in the game.
Every single play, every single risk has to be calculated and recalculated. So hard to just move with confidence, but it's Gen G who start the fight. Bin off to the side, what's his call? Does he want to go for the end? Does he want to stay?
He's just running.
Sprinting
He's just mainlining
as quickly as he can. He wants to stop the recall, but Keen is already TPing out. One member down, Gen G. Bin going in. Keen wants to deny it. The Elder down. Gen G holding the line and split across multiple sides. Pays is still up, firing, going golden, but should cut down by the power of the Elder. One last desperate gambit for BLG, and it fails completely.
Keen doesn't want to face check. Bin still looking, but Keen and Chovy standing guard at the Nexus.
The last push for either side. Chovy and Keen, who else to hold on to hope? The rest of the team holding the line. 7 years the LCK has waited. 7 years Gen G has waited. A lifetime Chovy has waited. But he and Gen G are your MSI champions.
We finally did it! And the man that shows no emotion hugs the rest of his team. Gen G with Keen, with Canyon, with Lehens coming back. 2022, they weren't able to make it. 2023, they weren't able to make it. But finally, Chovy claims his first international title.
Without a doubt, the best team in the world.
Incredible stuff.
Everybody recognized Chovy as the best player, but in this series, Lehens, Keen, Pays, Canyon, everyone having their moments.
Everyone's stepping up. That's the biggest difference. I think in this series, Chovy wasn't even that much of a factor in the grand scheme of things, not in the way that he was in the first best of 5. But the rest of his team at the ready.
Once he starts, he never stops. The first steps on the golden road for Gen G, the greatest day in Chovy's career. So many years, him and Lehens on Griffin, starting off with promise, faltering so many times. But here they finish the job.
Anyone on this roster has suffered so much, except for Pace. Except for Pace. He's